Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Strat Baseball History. My name is Joe, and I will be your companion and announcer tonight as we play some games from the 1962 Cards and Dice replay that we are currently playing through. Got 3 games on the slate for you tonight, folks. First, a long-awaited third game of the New York Mets season against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Following that, I should say, it's going to be the Houston Colt 45s visiting the Philadelphia Phillies, and finally the Cincinnati Reds at the San Francisco Giants. So, we'll see if we get through all 3. I set them up ahead of time. The lineups are ready to go. For those of you who wonder, I use the solitaire replay rest chart to determine which players. That is the wrong side. That's the injured side. To determine which players have to rest each day. And we keep track of injuries using the super advanced injury chart. Currently, for example, for New York, the second baseman Charlie Neal is out for a few days. Let's get these guys set up. Pretty much have it set, but I want to keep my cards in the order I always do. It makes my life easier. It'll be a real relaxed stream tonight. Nothing crazy going on. Hope you're all having a good, quiet evening at home and enjoying whatever you might be doing with your evening. Still a little bit of the process here. Let's move that over a little bit. Get things centered a little bit better. McBean's going to go over there, and Jackson's going to go over there. Those are our 2 pitchers on the night. Nope, I lied. McBean is one of... Wait, is it? McBean out? I'm confused now. McBean must be out. I have to check my records. Oh yeah, McBean's hurt for 6 games. Okay, that's why he's on the bottom. That confused me. So it's Earl Francis tonight for Pittsburgh pitching. They'll be facing off against New York's Al Jackson. So relievers. 1, 2, 3. We got 1 starter mixed up here. This is how I keep my cards organized. My starters together in order that they will appear. My relievers together. If a guy's pitched recently, he would be flipped over like this on the bottom of the stack. So these guys are rested. This guy's pitched recently. He's pitched the last game. And if he pitched a second game in a row, we'd flip him over like this. And that means he's unavailable if a reliever is face down. Anybody who's face up is fully rested. So that's how I organize my cards. And then we just have our bench in position order. Although I've thought about putting them in either at bat order or in the likely order that I would pull them for pinch hitting, perhaps. But for now, this is how I keep them organized. This is my New York Yankees teacup full of green tea. Always accompanying my evening replays, unless I'm drinking a beer, which I might a little later. Behind me on the couch is the babe, and the dog, and the cat, all watching Big Bang Theory. And that's pretty much where we're at. So welcome to 1962 game number 33, where the Pittsburgh Pirates will visit Shea Stadium. Is it Shea? No, it's probably not Shea yet, is it? Where'd they play in 62? Someplace else. Okay. Somewhere in New York. Oh, the Polo Grounds, right? I think the Mets opened up in the Polo Grounds, yep. And, yes, they'll be visiting the New York Mets on the mound for the hometown Mets. Al Jackson. He, of the, let's see. See those stats down there. It's pretty blurry. There we go. Focus. Anyway, 8-20, 4.40 ERA, and 33 starts for New York. 231 innings pitched, 244 hits allowed, 78 walks, and 118 Ks. He's going to face a Pirates batting order of center fielder Bill Verdon, shortstop Dick Grote, Left fielder Bob Skinner. First base 5, Dick Stewart. Batting 5th, the all-time great Roberto Clemente. The catcher, Smokey Burgess. Third baseman, Don Hoke. And second baseman, Bill Mazeroski. And of course, batting last with a pitcher 6 hitting card. Get that out of here. Our pitcher hitting card, right? Earl Francis. We'll also need one for Al Jackson. He's a 1. Terrible, terrible hitter. So, the defense for New York today, Taylor behind the plate. Hodges playing first. Over at second, it's Cannell, Rod Cannell. At third base, Cook. Cook. Who the hell's Cook? I think this is his first game. It's Cliff Cook, third base 5. Shortstop, Felix Mantilla. Over in left field, Frank Thomas. In center field, Jim Hickman. And in right field, Joe Christopher. Behind the plate, we already said that, Taylor. And pitching, as we said, Jackson. So, welcome to 62. One of the interesting things about this game as I was setting it up is we have 4 5-rated fielders in the game. 1 for Pittsburgh, Stewart at first, and 3 for the Mets. I guess that's how you can tell they're an expansion team. Thomas, Cannell, and Cook are all rated a 5, which is the worst possible rating. So we're going to see how that affects them as the game goes on. In any case, Al Jackson is on the mound. He's ready to go. Verdon steps into the box. And here's the pitch. How about a 3-8? That's a pop-up on the infield. We need our scoring pen to be ready. Cannell will roam over and take it for the first out. A pop out to second for Verdon. And there's one down for Pittsburgh. Here's Dick Grote against Jackson. How about a 6-3? That's a fly ball left field X. Thomas is a left field 5. He's going to get tested right away, and believe it or not, folks, a 3 is an out. So that's a fly out to Frank Thomas and left for the second out. And that brings up Bob Skinner. What a 2-8. It's a ground ball down to first. Hodges picks it up, flips to Jackson, and that will be the third out. So the Pirates go down 1-2-3 in the first. And we will introduce the New York Mets lineup today. In right field and batting first, Joe Christopher. In center field, batting second, Jim Hickman. Playing shortstop today and batting third, Felix Mantilla. The left field 5, aforementioned Frank Thomas, batting fourth. Gil Hodges getting his first start of the season, batting fifth and playing first. Sammy Taylor, catching behind the plate and batting sixth. Rod Cannell, the second base 5, and awfully fielding utility man. He plays every position but catcher, folks, and plays them all poorly. He's going to be batting seventh and playing second today. Cliff Cook, haven't seen him yet this season in my replay. I don't think you guys have seen him for obvious reasons. Playing third today and batting eighth, and of course Jackson, the pitcher, batting ninth. So Earl Francis, 9-8, a 3.07 ERA in 23 starts for Pittsburgh, 153 hits allowed in 176 innings, 83 walks, and 121 Ks. So Francis is ready, Christopher's in the box, and the pitch. A 5-4 catcher's card X. Burgess is a 4-1 reroll of 5. And that's a pass ball, which doesn't matter, followed by a pop out. So Christopher pops out to the catcher. There's one down here in the first. That brings up Jim Hickman. 1-8, and Hickman lines one back up the middle. That's a base hit. Hickman a C-stealer. Burgess a +1 makes him a 1-12. They'll hold him to make him a 1-10, just to make him interesting. That brings up Mantilla. Mantilla, a pretty good hitter. Hickman at first. The old stagger throw there. It's a fly ball to center field. No problem for Verdon. He roams over and takes it for the second out. Now the slugger comes up for New York, Frank Thomas. Francis with the pitch, a 4-8, and he loses Thomas. Being very careful with him. And Thomas walks. So Hickman on second, Thomas on first, and Gil Hodges comes to the plate. Francis is ready, and Hodges waits for the pitch. How about a 1-9? That's a base hit for Hodges. Hickman's going to round third, Thomas around second. With 2 outs, we're most likely set on Hickman. He's a 1-13, +2 with 2 outs makes him a 1-15. And he's going to make it home. The Mets take a 1-0 lead on the RBI single by first baseman Gil Hodges. Thomas at second, Hodges at first. And the catcher, Sammy Taylor, comes to the plate. Taylor, a pedestrian hitter, .214 average in 1962. The pitch from Francis. It's a 6-7. He lofts a fly ball to center field. Verdon roams over and takes it to end the inning. The Mets get out to a 1-0 lead, and Pittsburgh coming to bat. They'll send up Stewart, Clemente, and Burgess to face Jackson. Here's first baseman Dick Stewart. A 3-8 is a strikeout. Al Jackson gets him looking. And Roberto Clemente comes to the plate. What a 5-7 to the great Clemente, and he gets Clemente on strikes. Jackson finding the corners right now. That'll bring up Smokey Burgess with 2 outs. How about a 4-9? Single 1-2 or a line out to first? That's a line out to first. A 1-2-3 inning again for Jackson. After 1.5, it's Pittsburgh 0, Mets 1, and coming up, they'll send Cannell, Cook, and Jackson to the mound. To the batter's box. Cannell is the 7-hitter. Earl Francis with the pitch, a 2-5, and Cannell draws a base on balls. Cannell's a C, so similar situation before to Hickman. It'll be a 1-12, and they will hold him, makes him a 1-10. That brings up Cliff Cook. And we're going to go ahead and hit and run with Cliff Cook and his .222 batting average, .264 on base. The hit and run result is a 9. That's going to be a steal attempt. Roll a 20-sided die, so it's a 1-10 because they were holding him. He's caught stealing. So the botched attempt at a hit and run by Cook, he misses the pitch. Cannell is gunned down, and there's 1 out. Cook back in the box to face Francis. About a 2-7. That's a ground ball down to third. Scooped by Hoke over to Stewart at first for the 2nd out. And that brings up Mets pitcher Al Jackson. How about a 5-5? He's down on strikes for the 3rd out. So no runs on no hits, nobody left for the Mets here in the 2nd. And it's 1-0 as we head to the 3rd. Hoke, Mazeroski, and Francis, the bottom of the Pirates order, coming to the plate. Here's Don Hoke. A serviceable hitter, 4-7. He didn't like being called serviceable. It's a double 1-9 or a single. And Hoke has the first base hit for the Pirates. He's a deal stealer, so he's not going anywhere, but it gives Bill Mazeroski a chance to hit. With 1 on and nobody out. Jackson's pitch. A 1-3. That's a grounder, pitcher A. That's going to be a 1-6-3 double play. Gil Jackson to Mantilla to Hodges double play, the classic call. Okay, I'm kidding. But that brings up Earl Francis with 2 outs. The Pittsburgh pitcher is a batter 6, which means he gets very few hits, but does hit the occasional homer. And he's in the right column, 2-6, though not high enough. That's a strikeout. So, through 3 innings, Jackson, despite a hit, has faced the minimum. And we'll take a sip of tea as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Joe Christopher due to lead off. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Gotta be careful sipping the liquids around the cards, man. Gotta be careful. So Christopher popped out to the catcher his first time up. Francis to the heel. That's a 2-9. And he strikes him out. Christopher goes down swinging for the first out, and here's Hickman. Singled and scored a run back in the 1st. And a 1-5. That's a double 1-8 or a single. That's going to be a double. And Hickman has his 2nd base hit of the day. He's into 2nd with 1 out. And that'll bring up Mantilla. Would love to get an RBI here. Francis thinking just the opposite as he deals the pitch to Mantilla. 3-4. Uh-oh, Felix might have caught a hold of this one. It's deep. Home run 1-15, triple 16-20. It's going. It's going. It's a 15. That's a 2-run home run for Felix Mantilla. And the Mets extend their lead to 3-0. Mantilla's first home run of the season. And New York feeling pretty good right now, out in front by 3. Well, Francis calms down on the mound, talks to his catcher. Burgess calms him down. Francis takes the ball, and he's ready to pitch to Frank Thomas, who walked his first time up. 1 down. Thomas awaits the pitch. A 2-5. That's a triple 1 single 2-20. That's a 3. So a base hit. It's cut off before it can roll to the wall. But Big Frank's on for the second time today. And with 1 down, it'll bring up Gil Hodges. Francis on the rubber, ready to deal, and the pitch to Hodges, a 4-8. He loses him. Can't find the plate this time, and Francis definitely shaken by the home run. It's now 1st and 2nd with the walk to Hodges. And the catcher, Sammy Taylor, coming to the plate. 1st and 2nd, 1 out, the pitch from Francis. 4-8, another base on balls. That's not good, folks. He has walked the bases loaded after the single to Hodges. And that means Rod Cannell going to get an opportunity here. They're going to pull the infield in and try to keep this one close, even though it's in the early going. Cannell not likely to drop down a ball with the bases loaded, but you never know. Well, there's a ground ball, third base B. I believe that's going to be a force out at home. It is. Always with the bases loaded, so that's a 5-2. Everybody else moves up. Cannell reaches on the fielder's choice, and now there are 2 down. Everybody plays back. And Cliff Cook comes to the plate. Cliff grounded out to third his first time up. He's got the bases loaded. Don't know if he's ever seen that before. Probably not since high school, folks. And he's ready for the pitch from Francis. What a 6-7. He hits this one on the nose in the center. But Verdon runs it down. Good play by Verdon. And that'll end the third for the Mets, but they pick up 2 big runs. They leave 3. And now lead 3-0. Back to the top of the order for the Pirates here in the 4th. Jackson pitching well thus far. A 1-7, a line drive, but right at Hodges at first. Verdon is retired for the first out. Here's Grote. Flew out his first time up. Jackson pitches, and a 5-11. That's a ground ball down toward Hodges at first. A 17 on the first base, too. Is going to be... Hodges scoops that up and flips to Jackson for the second out. That's going to bring up the eminent left fielder Bob Skinner, a 20-homer guy with a .302 average. That's a pretty good season for Skinner in '62. He grounded back out to first the first time up. And with 2 outs, he'll try to get something going for Pittsburgh. Jackson's pitch, 1-9. That's a strikeout. Jackson's 4th strikeout on the day in as many innings. And Pittsburgh still scoreless. The Mets with 3, and they're coming to bat. Jackson to lead it off against Francis. He struck out his first time up. And Francis gets him again this time. A nasty curveball has Jackson confused. Swings over the top of it for the first out. Here's Joe Christopher. Popped out and struck out. But a 5-9. A triple 1-7 for a single. That gets through everybody, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Joe Christopher in ahead of the throw. As it comes back in, he pulls up at third base with a 1-out triple. So Jim Hickman, all he needs to do is hit a ground ball to deep short or deep second, or loft a fly ball to the outfield, and he should have an RBI. So here's Hickman. Francis struggling a little bit today. A lot of base runners in the first 3 and a third innings so far. But he's ready to pitch to Hickman. And Hickman is 2 for 2 on the day with 2 runs scored. How about a 1-3? Well, this time he draws a base on balls. They will not hold Hickman. With runners at the corners and Mantilla coming up. They're playing for the double play now. And Francis delivers to Mantilla a 4-6. That's a strikeout. A big, big strikeout here for Francis against the Mets' number 3 hitter. So there's 2 down now, runners at the corners, and Frank Thomas steps to the plate. He's walked and singled on the day. How about a 5-9? That's going to be a base hit, a triple 1-7, single 8-20. Will it get down? It does, but it's cut off by Clemente. Throws it in quickly. That's a 5-9. That's a single 2 asterisks. So Christopher's going to score. Hickman over to third. An RBI base hit. The New York Mets now lead Pittsburgh 4-0. And with runners on first and third, Gil Hodges comes to the plate. A single, an RBI, and a walk today. And if Francis can't get him, he might be done. A 1-5. There's a base hit for Hodges. Hickman will trot home. Thomas to second, where he is held up by the third base coach with 2 outs. And Hodges has an RBI single. The Mets now 5-0. And they've seen enough. Francis's day is going to be done. So Francis so far, 3 2/3 innings. He's allowed 5 runs, all of them earned, mind you. And Pittsburgh's going to have to find somebody to come in and staunch the bleeding. Hope you guys are having a really good Wednesday night. Happy hump day, and whatever else you want to call it. I'm enjoying green tea, and a little later, going to be some Dogfish Head, as we play out the games of April 13th, 1962, in very casual fashion. Kind of wish I had a second camera for a face cam. I do not. Speaking of face, we could go to Roy Face, but I don't think we will. I think we're going to go to, we're going to go to Diomedes Olivo to try to eat some innings here for Pittsburgh and see if he can give his team a chance to bat their way back into it. So Olivo, a pitcher 3, with a 3 POW. So he'll take over with 2 outs here in the third, and he'll have to face Sammy Taylor with runners on first and second. Here's the pitch from Olivo to Taylor. 6-2. That's the base on balls. And the bases are again loaded. Olivo may be warmed up a little too quick. For those of you wondering, Olivo's stats in 62, 5-1, a 2.77 ERA, and 1 start. He had 7 saves, 84 innings pitched, 88 hits allowed, 25 walks, and 66 strikeouts. He allowed 5 long balls in those 84 innings, which is not a bad ratio at all. Rod Cannell would like to up that ratio right now. Bases loaded, 2 men out, Rod Cannell to the plate. He's walked, been caught stealing, and grounded into a fielder's choice. Olivo ready, and he deals to Cannell. That's a 6-6. That's Olivo's bad column. Double 1-5, single 6-20. There's a double for Cannell. 2 runs are going to score. The Mets are going to be up 7-0. Taylor gets over to third. And those earned runs are going to be charged to Francis. So 3 2/3 innings, 7 earned runs for Francis, and that will close the book on him. The runners now belong to Olivo, so it's second and third with Cliff Cook coming to the plate for the Mets. Cook 0 for 2 on the day. He's ready for the pitch from Olivo. A 1-7. He hits the ball in the air out to left field. Skinner roams over and squeezes it for the final out here in the 4th. But not before the Mets pick up 4 big runs. And now leads 7-0. So Jackson takes the mound after a long rest. He has to put his tea down. I don't. I'm going to drink it some more. Let's go Yanks. Even though they're not playing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really missing the baseball season so far. Strat has given me a pretty good fill of it, though. Running this replay on the 73 replay I just started on PC. So, got Al Jackson coming out. He's going to face Stewart, Clemente, and Burgess for the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are trailing by 7 runs and would like to get something going here in the 5th. Dick Stewart comes to the plate, struck out his first time up. Jackson with the pitch. That's a 4-9 single 1-2 or a line out to first. That's a line drive right to Hodges. He snatches it out of the air for the first out. And Stewart hit that ball hard, but nothing to show for it. Here's Clemente. Jackson struck him out the first time. A 2-12. This time Clemente lays off and draws a base on balls. He's a C. That makes him a 1-13 before the hold, so they will hold him on, even with a 7-run lead. They don't want to start conceding bases here. That's how you get in trouble, folks. And Smokey Burgess, the good-hitting catcher, comes up. He lined out to first his first time up. Clemente on first and 1 out. The pitch to Burgess is a 5-6 fly ball to center field. Hickman roams over and takes the second out, retiring Burgess for New York. So Pittsburgh, one man on. Hoke comes to the plate. And I was thinking about stealing, but they need too many runs right now. They need to get some base hits strung together here. So Clemente at first, 2 outs, and the pitch to Hoke. A 2-6 is a ground ball to short. They'll go the short way, 6-4 to end the inning. Retires Clemente, and that ends the 5th. That's the first inning that Jackson's allowed more than 3 hitters to come to the plate. So Pittsburgh's improving. But nonetheless, no score as we go to the bottom of the 5th. The Mets have a 7-0 lead. Jackson struck out twice, and he'll lead off here in the 5th for New York. The 6-8 is a base hit. Finding that rich 6 column against Diomedes Olivo. Jackson's on at first with nobody out. Here's Joe Christopher, who tripled and scored a run his last time up. Officially 1 for 3 on the day. How about a 2-3? That's a ground ball to second. It's going to be a fielder's choice. Christopher will reach. Jackson retired on the 4-6. That is, for those wondering, Mazeroski to Grote. Christopher's a 1-13. Burgess makes him a 1-14, and the hold makes him a 1-12. And Jim Hickman comes to the plate. Christopher not stealing, and it's a 1-5, double 1-8, single 9-20 for Hickman. That's a base hit for Jim Hickman. His 4th consecutive time on base today. 3 for 3 with a walk. Christopher scurries over to third. And with just 1 out, the Mets are threatening again. They'll hold Hickman at first. Christopher on his own at third. They're looking for the double play to end this inning. And Mencia comes up. He's 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run back in the 3rd inning. Olivo ready. How about a 5-12? That's a ground ball to first. He's going to field it. Who's he? Stewart fields it. Flips to Olivo. They get Hickman, Mencia at first, I should say. Hickman moves to second, and Christopher comes home on the chopper on the infield. So another Mets run. It's now 8-0. Are these the expansion 62 Mets, folks? What's going on? Olivo has now pitched an inning, so he's not nearing point of weakness yet. He's got 3 more outs before he has to worry about that, but he does have to worry about big Frank Thomas. Thomas comes up 2 for 2, an RBI and a walk today. He drove in a run his last time up, and he's got a runner in scoring position, Hickman on second with 2 outs. Olivo deals to Thomas. How about a 5-7? Triple 1, single 2-20. That's a single. And Hickman's going to come home. Another RBI for Thomas. And it's now 9-0 New York. Gil Hodges to the plate. Olivo ready to deal. Has not pitched well today. A 2-11 ground back to the pitcher. Olivo grabs it and throws over to the first baseman Stewart, finally retiring the Mets. But they score yet 2 more runs here in the 5th. And have put up double digits against Pirate pitching with 10 big runs. Actually, it's 9 runs, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 big runs, excuse me. Don't want to rob them and take away their comeback chances. So we go into the 6th. Pittsburgh trailing by 9, and Mazeroski Olivo and Verdon are due up. Here's Mazeroski. How about a 4-6? That's going to be a base hit for Mazeroski. On a 1-6, it's going to get to the wall. It's not, it's a 7. So Mazeroski with a leadoff single. Olivo due to hit. He's not going to. They're going to pull him. Keep the cards organized, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see who the pinch hitter for Pittsburgh will be. So Olivo, 2 1/3 innings and 2 earned runs given up. Sorry, 2 1/3. What am I talking about? 1 1/3. And B is going to be a pinch hitter. Let's see who we've got. I'm going to go with Don Clendenin. Clendenin, a very good hitter. We'll try to get something going against Jackson for Pittsburgh with Mazeroski on first. Jackson deals to Clendenin. How about a 1-5? That's a base hit. Mazeroski rounds second. He's a 1-13. They're going to hold him up with the big trailing by a lot of runs. And first and second, Verdon is going to come up. He's 0 for 2 on the day against Jackson. Jackson, by the way, a POW 7, so he's got another inning before he gets tired from just 3 base hits. How about a 5-7 on the pitch from Jackson, and that's a strikeout. Verdon down for the 3rd time today. 0 for 3. 2 runners still on for the Pirates, and just 1 down. It's going to be Dick Groat, the shortstop, trying to do some damage. Groat also 0 for 2 on the day. Jackson with the pitch. How about a 5-9? Strikes out Groat. 2 big strikeouts here for Al Jackson. Just when he needed the most. And now 2 down, 2 men on, and he's going to face Bob Skinner, who's also 0 for 2. Jackson's pitch to Skinner. That's a 2-11. Ground ball right back to Jackson. He picks it up. Flips it over to Hodges at first. And Pittsburgh, last inning they got 4 men to the plate. This inning they got 5 men to the plate, but the result is the same. No runs. And they still trail by 9. We're going to actually substitute for Bob Skinner here. Clendenin's going to stay in the game and play left. So the old double switch. Clendenin now the left field 3. Skinner is out. And the new pitcher for Pittsburgh is going to be Jack LaMave. He is a pitcher 3, POW 3, and he will face Taylor, Cannell, and Cook here in the bottom of the 6th for New York. 2-6 to Taylor is a strikeout. I'll move this one along. We're playing at a very sedate pace, but this one's pretty much out of hand. 2-8 is a pop out to third for Cannell. That's the 2nd out for the Mets. And here's Cliff Cook. How about a 1-3? That's a ground ball down to third. Will be picked by Hoke, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for LaMave. Or LaMabe. I'm going to go with LaMave. It sounds more exotic. So through 6, the Mets lead 9-0, and it's Stewart, Clemente, and Burgess against Jackson. Jackson ready. This is his POW inning. He faces Dick Stewart, who's 0 for 2. That's 2-7. Double 1 to 4, single 5 to 20. So another leadoff base hit. 2nd inning in a row for Pittsburgh. Let's see if they can do anything with it this time. Here's Clemente with 1 on and nobody out. Jackson with the pitch. A 3-5. That's a 6 to 4. To 3, double play. That's Mantilla to Cannell to Hodges, if you were wondering. And 2 quick outs now for Pittsburgh here in the 7th. Smokey Burgess comes up 0 for 2. 3-6. There's a base hit. Too little too late. But they're still trying, folks. Burgess with the single with 2 outs. And here's Don Hope. How about a 1-6? Well, there's a base hit. Apparently the faster pace is helping Pittsburgh. They'll hold Burgess at second with 2 down and give Mazeroski a chance to hit. He's 1 for 2 on the day. How about a 3-4? That's a line drive, but right at Mantilla at short. That'll end the inning. And another 5 batters come up, and no runs are scored for Pittsburgh. The Mets coming up in the bottom of the 7th. It's supposed to be Jackson. He'll stay in. He's got the shutout going. A 1-4, he strikes out, but that's not why he's here today, folks. He's 1 for 4, and he's happy about it with 3 strikeouts because he's got a 9-0 lead. He doesn't mind. He goes back from that strikeout smiling. Here's Joe Christopher. He scored 2 runs, a triple, 1 for 4 officially on the day. That is a, whoops, that was a 6, folks. I moved that with my hands. That's a 2-12. They line out third base. Hoke grabs it for the second out, and Hickman coming up. What a 6-5. That's a strikeout. So, 6 batters faced by Lamabe, and 6 batters retired. Good job in relief for him. That'll probably be the end of his relief work because he's due to lead it off. Oh, no, he's not. I forgot, we left Clendenon in the game. Lamabe is due up 4th this inning, so you might get another inning of work if Jackson goes 1-2-3. Pittsburgh hopes that's not the case. And Clendenon will lead it off, trying to get something started. How about a 2-8? Well, he does. His second base hit of the day, Don Clendenon. He's an A stealer with nobody on. It's a 1-17 minus 2. He's still a 1-15. That's actually not enough of a chance with a 9-run deficit. Verdon steps up. It's a ground ball second base A++. So the fact that we were holding the A stealing Clendenon at first means the plus is a single 2 asterisks. With Clendenon over to third. Verdon on at first, and that's actually... oh, I missed the fatigue for Jackson last inning, but that's alright. I'm going to go ahead and take Jackson out, even though he's got the shutout going. Or should I leave him out with a 9-0 lead? Yeah. You know what? Even though he's fatigued, we're going to ignore the rule. It's first and third. Nobody out. Until he gives up a run at least, folks. Gotta let him have a chance at the shutout. They are playing for the double play, though, so they'll concede the run, and that would be the end of Jackson. 1-7. It's pop-up on the infield to shortstop. Grote is retired for the first out. That brings up Dick Stewart. 1 for 3 today. Oh no, this is where the pitcher would be batting. Well, the roll's a 4-7. Shit. I'm going to have to re-roll that because Lamabe will be out. I didn't have a pitcher sitting card there. Well, Lamabe's day is done. And we'll have a pinch hitter coming in. A pinch hitter with 2 men on for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's going to be Dick. Do I want to use Dick Schofield there? Yeah, he's got the best on-base chance, I think. It's going to be Schofield. So Schofield comes in. 382 on base percentage. Runners at first and second. Nick is not going to pitch for the Pirates. Though I think he did pitch an inning in his career. Maybe more than once. Jackson ready. First and second. 1 out. Schofield in the box. 2-8. And he strikes Schofield out. That is the second out of the inning. And Pittsburgh threatening to strand runners again. They're going to have to rely on Dick Stewart to get something done. He's 1 for 3 against Jackson today. The 5-9. That's a strikeout. Can you believe it, folks? I was going to take him out. But he is able to keep things going. And I know he doesn't have any fatigue marks. That's part of basic. But since he's got the shutout intact, we'll let him try for it. So Stewart, the natural first baseman. If we can finagle a double switch here with Schofield. Probably not. Is it worth it? We probably can. It's probably not worth it in a 9-0 game to go through all this. Well, Schofield's going to come out. And Pittsburgh's going to bring in a new pitcher, Joe Gibbon. Given a pitcher 3, relief 3. To face the Mets. He will face Mantilla, Thomas, and Hodges. Mantilla's had a good day, a homer, a ground out, 3 RBIs, and a 5-8. Means he will fly out to right for the first out of the 8th. Frank Thomas, reached base all 3 times, 3 singles, 2 RBIs, and a walk. How about a 5-6? Safe fly ball to left field. Thomas is retired for the first time. Clendenon takes that one in. There's 2 quick outs. Here's Gil Hodges. Hodges 2 for 3 on the day with a couple of RBIs. There's a 5-5. Ground ball to shortstop. We haven't had an X call in a long time. Grote's a 3. That's a 20 roll again. I hate those. How about a 6? Grote takes the ball, throws it to first, and that's the final out of the inning for the Mets. So Gibbon does his job, 1-2-3 inning. But Pittsburgh down by a lot. They're going to need 9 runs as we go into the 9th inning. And that's just to keep it going, folks. So Jackson, looking for a complete game shutout, will face Clemente, Burgess, and Hoke. Here's Clemente, 6-6. Pops him up on the infield. That's a 4. 1 down. Here's Burgess. That's a 2-4 grounder. The first flips to Jackson for the second out. These guys are just not finding their good column. Like Don Hoke's a 1 here. He's probably going to roll a 3 or a 5. Those are my predictions. With 2 outs in the 9th, there's a 3-5. I said a 3 or 5. He rolls a 3-5. Figure that one out. I should go into some sort of sports booking, apparently. That is it. Jackson gets the complete game shutout. The Mets lead and win by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to nothing. So now you get to see the insanity of how I put this shit back together. So it's Burden, Stewart, Clemente, Burgess, Hoke, Mazeroski, and Clendenon. I'm not going to worry about these guys. Gibbon's going to go back behind the pile. Do we have anybody? Oh, the only guys flipped over are the guys who pitched today, so that's good news. Both goes on the New York side. Gonna flip Schofield and Skinner back around. That's your first. Third. Left Clendenon should come out as well. Clendenon, the first baseman. And Burden, the center fielder. Burden, Grote, Stewart. Was this our original starting lineup? Oh, Skinner. Bob Skinner's a reg. Stewart, Clemente, Burgess, Hoke, and Mazeroski. So, here's our backup squad. On top of those go the relievers. On top of those go the starting lineup, and on top of those go the starting pitchers. So the next time the Pirates take the field, it'll be Bob Friend. Okay, for New York, the same process. So we have no fatigued pitchers. Jackson goes to the back of the line. I know rubber bands, right? It's awful. We did have some subs for the Mets today. We're going to put them back in order. It's Ashburn, Chacon, and Throneberry who need to go back in the lineup. Christopher's a backup. Hickman goes further back in the lineup, so it's Ashburn, Chacon, Mantilla, Thomas. I think Thomas, Hickman, Throneberry. Taylor, and currently Cannell because Neil is still hurt. So, part of keeping organized and being efficient with a big project like a full season every game C&D replay for me is making sure that these cards go back in the right order every time, because it makes it easier for me to set up the next game. Especially when I'm not playing a series, I'm playing, every game on a given day. These may not be exactly right, but they're close enough for horseshoes so that I know what I'm looking at the next time I pull this team out to play with them. So 9-0, Pittsburgh beats New York. We'll score it a little later. Well, I'll show you what my process is. So normally we'll go down the line here. Verdon 1 for 4 with a K. Grote 0 for 4 with a K. Skinner 0 for 3 with a K. C was Lamabe, who goes a relief pitcher. He had no at-bats. D goes 0 for 1, that's Schofield with a K. E, another relief pitcher. And I underline them so I can see them when I do the stats later. Stewart 1 for 4 with 2 Ks. Lots of strikeouts for Jackson here. Clemente 0 for 3. A walk. A strikeout and a ground into double play. I track those. 1 for 4 for Burgess. 2 for 4 for Hoke. 1 for 3 and a ground into double play for Mazeroski. 0 for 1 and a K for Francis. Olivo is a relief pitcher, didn't bat, and Clendenin goes 2 for 2 with no result. And then we'll take the starting pitcher, Francis, and we'll count up his stuff. So he went, 3 1/3? 3 2/3. He allowed 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. 7 runs, I remember that. They're all earned because there's no errors. Any homers? 1 home run. And then walks and strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks. And 1, 2, 3, 4 Ks. The next pitcher, Olivo, goes a 1.1 innings pitched. He gave up 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, no homers, 1 walk, and no Ks. This is my process for every game. So Lamabe goes 2 innings pitched. No hits, he gave up 1. He had 3 strikeouts, is all he had. So no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no home runs, no walks, 3 Ks, and then 1 inning pitched for Gibbon, and nothing of anything. There's room. I write these stat lines out every time just because I like consistency. And it gives me a complete game story at a glance. So, that's pretty much how that works. So, yeah, obviously, our buddy Francis here, he takes the loss. And then we go down to the New York Mets. 1 for 5 for Christopher. 2 runs, triple, and a strikeout. 3 for 4 for Hickman. 4 runs scored. A double, a walk, and a K. 1 for 5 for Mantilla, but the big one was a home run. A run, a home run, 3 RBIs. And a strikeout. 1, 2, 3 for 4 for Thomas. 1 run scored, 2 RBIs. And a walk. 2 for 4 for Hodges. A run, 2 ribbies, and a base on balls. Seems like barbecue. Let's fix that. 0 for 2 for Taylor with 2 walks and a K. 1 for 3 for Cannell. Double. 2 RBIs. A base on balls and a caught stealing. 0 for 4 for Cook. And the pitcher, Jackson, 1 for 4 with 3 Ks. Starting pitcher, Jackson's line. And obviously he gets the win. He gets a complete game. He gets a shutout. He goes 9 innings pitched. Great job for the Mets there, by the way. Fantastic game by Jackson. 1 hit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits. No runs, no earners, no homers. How many did he walk? One walk. Really good game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Ks for Jackson. And we had a couple of good offensive performances, but Al Jackson's got to get player of the game with the complete game 8K shutout of the Pittsburgh Pirates today. This is my process, just so you know what's going on. I figured I'd just kind of show you how I play by myself when I'm not recording a game. Obviously, I don't talk out loud all the time, although I do sometimes. So let's see, the Mets had 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 hits. Does that match up? 1, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It does. And 8 hits for Pittsburgh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 7, 8 by Clendenin. Any errors? I don't remember any errors in the game. The Mets didn't commit any, and they'd be circled on my score sheet, so they're easy to spot. No errors. So the final score, 9-0, 0-8-0 for Pittsburgh, 9-12-0 for New York. And the Mets improved to 2-1 on the season. So, that is game number 1 of our stream tonight. The second scheduled game is Houston, Philadelphia. Over just a moment, we'll get those guys set up. The Colt 45s are going to send Hal Wodashik. It's like woodchuck, but spelled different. To the mound tonight against the Phillies. Get our bullpen set. Our starting reserves set. Those guys will not see action unless things go really crazy. And then there's our bench for Houston. On the mound for the Phillies, making his second start of the season, will be Art Mahavy. Here's his lineup behind him. Here's the bullpen for 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's your starters. Your bullpen on top of the starters, because the starters obviously won't see action today. And the bench. We've already rolled to see who needed rest, so I could set these lineups for the stream. So we can jump right into our second game. So it's the Houston Colt 45s taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, and I'm going to sip some more tea. If you're having a good time and you're enjoying the stream, let me know it, folks. I don't mind chatting it up with you. Nice to have a good time on a quiet Wednesday evening. Playing baseball. As I say, it's never a bad day for a baseball game. I'm sure somebody said that before me, or something like it. And before we start randomly rolling dice, let's introduce you to tonight's teams. The Houston Colt 45s send a lineup to the mound of left fielder Art Spangler. Art? I don't know where I got Art from. Al Spangler. Second baseman Joey Amalfitano. In right field, Roman Mejias. At first baseman, batting cleanup, Norm Larker. Batting fifth in center field, Carl Warwick. Batting sixth at third base, Bob Aspromonte. Batting seventh, the catcher, Merritt Renu. And batting eighth, the shortstop, Bob Lillis. Batting ninth will, of course, be the pitcher, Al Wodashik. How much Wodashik can a woodchuck shick? How much wode can a Wodashik wode? I don't know what the hell's happening. We also need a pitcher sitting card for Mahaffey, by the way. Oh. There's that. The more I talk, the deeper my voice appears to get. And the more I put radio voice on for some reason. In any case, the Phillies will send Art Mahaffey to the mound tonight. See if I can grab his stats from Game 1 real quick. Keep everything pen and paper here, folks. The old graph paper style, so... We've got the Phillies in Houston coming. Mahaffey is 0-1 on the season. 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs. So that's a, what, 6.67 ERA, I think? Off the top of my head? Or is that? No, it's just a 6 ERA. Yep. 7 strikeouts in his first outing. So Mahaffey tonight looking for his first win. Wojciech, this will be his first start for Houston, I believe. Yes. So, Mahaffey, one of those asterisk pitchers. In the real season, he's 19-14 with a 3.94 in 39 starts, 253 hits and 274 innings, 177 strikeouts to go with 81 walks, and allowed a big number in 62, 36 home runs. These days, everybody allows 30-plus home runs. But back in 62, Mahaffey was giving up a fair share of long balls. So he'll face this Colt 45's lineup here in the top of the first. It's Al Spangler to get things going. We're going to try to keep things moving for you, folks. 3-7. That's a ground ball down to third. A 5-3. That's a Demeter over to... I can't read my... Demeter over to Severs. Or Seaver, I should say. Seaver? Cyburn. Is that Cyburn? Is that what I wrote? Oh, no, it is Severs. Roy Severs. Jeez. Handwriting going to shit. Here's Joey Amalfitano with 1 out. There's a 5-8 home run 1, double 2 to 20. That's a base hit for Amalfitano. It gets down and bounces off the wall. A 2-bagger. He pulls into second. And Roman Mejias will have an RBI chance. The right fielder in the box, Mahaffey deals a 1-9. That's a ground ball shortstop, A++. There is no hold, so the shortstop, who is that? Wine, looks Amalfitano back to second and then throws over to Severs at first for the second out. The runner at second, 2 out, and Norm Larker will come up and try to pick him up. Mahaffey deals. It's a 5-10. Catcher's card X. White is a 3. We roll a 1. That's a strikeout, folks. A foul tip strikeout by Larker. And despite the double, no runs, 1 left. Houston doesn't score. The Phillies coming to bat. The lineup for Philadelphia today is going to be second baseman Tony Taylor, batting second in right field Johnny Callison, batting third and center Tony Gonzalez, batting fourth first baseman Roy Severs, batting fifth left fielder 5 Wes Covington. It was interesting, isn't it, that we had 4 number 5 fielders in the field and nobody committed an error last game. Anyway, moving on, Don Demeter, third base, batting 6th. Bobby Wine, the shortstop, batting 7th. Sammy White catching and batting 8th. And, of course, the pitcher, Art Mahaffey, batting 9th for the Phillies. Al Wojciech, 5 wins, 16 losses in 26 starts in 1962, a 4.39 ERA. So his record worse than his ERA, by a little bit. 161 hits in 139 innings, 82 strikeouts to go with 54 walks. Notably, he only allowed 3 home runs. So he's the anti-Mahaffey. He has no homers on his card. He'll face Tony Taylor to lead things off for the Phillies here in the bottom of the first. Taylor with a 4-9. That's a strikeout. Wojciech inspired by our previous performance by Al Jackson. See if he can keep it up. Here's Johnny Callison with 1 down. A 2-8. Here's a base hit. Callison on first. He's a B-stealer. The arm for Rainey was a +2. That makes him a 1-15. Even if they hold him, he's a 1-13. And Callison's feeling jumpy. He's running. And he steals the bag easily. So Callison now in scoring position for Tony Gonzalez. Al Wojciech to deal the pitch. There's a 1-6, strikes him out for the second out. So 2 strikeouts for Wojciech here, and Roy Seavers coming up, the cleanup man. 282 with 21 homers and 62. Seavers just needs a base hit to get Callison home here, because Callison's got speed. Wojciech deals, and it's a 1-6 single on a 1. Or a line out to short to end the inning. So 1, 2, 3, a 4 inning for both teams in the first. No runs. Both teams leave a man, and we are scoreless going to the second. The expansion Colt 45s looking to get something going here in the second with Warwick, Aspromonte, and Renew. Mahaffey deals to Warwick. A 1-3. That's a base on balls. And a leadoff walk is a good way to get an inning going, folks. Warwick's de-stealing. He does have good speed on the bases, but he's not much of a stealer. He'll stand there at first as Bob Aspromonte comes to the plate. Mahaffey deals to Aspromonte. It's a 2-8. It's a pop-out on the infield to the shortstop. Bobby Wine drifts over and takes it in his cup for the first out. Well, he's using a cup, folks, because if he used a Bobby Wine glass, he'd break it. The puns are free, folks. The puns are free. They're bad, too, but they're free. If they were good, I would charge for them. With 1 down in Warwick at first, here's Merritt Renew trying to renew his career. Mahaffey deals a 5-6 fly ball to center field. Gonzalez over and takes it for the second out. That brings up a Bob Lillis of Lillis Fair fame. There's too many puns now, man. I know, stop it. It's a fly ball to right field X. The right fielder is Callison. He's a 3. We slide a 4 across the table. And that's going to be an error on Callison. Lillis will end up at second, and Warwick scampers over to third as the throw comes in. So the good news is it's runners at second and third. The bad news is it's 2 out, and the pitcher, Wojciech, is due up. Mahaffey going to come right after Wojciech with these dice. A 111 is a strikeout. He was distracted by the dice Mahaffey threw at him, didn't see the ball, and that went over the plate for the third strike. Come on, guys, it's a ball game. You gotta have fun. It's just Strat-O-Matic, man. We're just reliving somebody's youth, because I wasn't fucking born in 1962. But in any case, for the Phillies, Covington, Demeter, and Wine's coming up. If this is your youth, I hope I'm not mangling it too much. Wojciech to deal to Covington. A 110 as we ground it to first. A 3-1, and that's going to be Larker over to Wojciech for the out. Covington's retired, and Demeter coming up with 1 down. Seavers, Covington, Demeter, Wine. It's like some sort of Greek god thing going on over here in Philadelphia. How about a 2-9? Now that's a strikeout. Wojciech gets Demeter swinging for the second out. Here's Bobby Wine. He won't complain if you strike him out, but he won't be happy. If you know what I mean. He doesn't like to whine. He'd love a beer, though. I might like one myself soon. 1-7's a ground ball to third, over to first. A 1-2-3 inning for Wojciech. And we're going to find out how much Wojciech could chuck. Something, 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 if I knew what the hell I was talking about. It's hard to talk to yourself for this long, folks. Feel free to chat it up every time. Anyway, Al Spangler coming up. You think somebody's watching. Hey, they might be. They will be at some point. I get views, man. I get views. It's cool. I'm having fun anyway, so it don't matter. Spangler's 0 for 1 against Mahaffey. Here's the pitch. A 5-3. That's a ground ball down to first. Seavers is a 3. I roll a 3, kind of. Gotta roll that die a little bit better. But a 3-3, that's a single. Under the glove. And who the hell's batting? Spangler. With a leadoff base hit. Spangler's a C. Steeler, they will hold him on, which means he's a 1-11 to go to second. So he's not going to do that unless Amalfitano screws up the hit and run. Joey Amalfitano doubled his first time up. He's trying to hit and run the second time up. 6 on the hit and run is a grounder to second. but he moves Spangler along. The ground ball to the right side. Amalfitano does his job. A productive at bat. And there's a man in scoring position with just one out for Roman Mejias. Mejias grounded out to short his first time up. Mahaffey deals. It's a 3-3. Ground ball down to third. They'll look Spangler back to second. Throw over to first for the second out. That brings up Norm Larker, who struck out spinning last time up. He wasn't even sure Mahaffey was throwing a ball at him. He's ready in the box now and has his eyes wide open. Mahaffey deals. How about a 2-12? A line out second base into as many outs as possible. Well, they only need one, and they can't carry it over to the next inning, so they'll just take the one to end the third for Houston. Still no score as we go to the bottom of the third, folks. White, Mahaffey, and Taylor due up for the Phillies. Catcher Sammy White ready for the pitch from Wojciech. 2-9, that's a fly ball to center field. Warwick is over, and so is White's at bat. Good hitting pitcher is Mahaffey. How about a 5-7? There's a base hit. See what happens when you say nice things about people? They come through for you. I don't really care who wins, folks, just saying. If you compliment somebody, they may surprise you. So Mahaffeyas, I'm going to try words now. Mahaffey is on at first with just one out. And Tony Taylor to the bat. He struck out his first time up against Wojciech. Wojciech sending him to the Woj shed. How about a 3-8? Indeed he is. That's the second strikeout of Taylor. And the second out of the inning. So it brings up Callison, the antsy base stealer from right field. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Can't remember that long ago. We have to talk about it later. Single 1-3 or a line out to first. Oh, that time it rolled, folks, and it's a line out to first base for the third out of the inning. And we're through 3, still scoreless. A real pitcher's duel between Mahaffey and the unaforementioned Wojciech. I know it says Wojciech, but that sounds really weird, so I'm going to keep saying Wojciech. Mahaffey will pitch to Warwick to start the fourth for the Colt 45s. Warwick walked his first time up. The pitch from Mahaffey, a 5-7. Grounder to second base, X. Taylor's a 3, there's a 13. That's going to be a 4-3 to retire Warwick for the first out here in the fourth. Bob Aspromonte coming up. About a 1-6. Well, that's a grounder to third. No better result as Demeter slings it over to Severs for the second out. And Merritt Renu will have to do it himself. He flew out to center his first time up. He'd like to hit it just a little bit farther this time. 4-1-9. He hits it to center again, and he does indeed hit it just a little bit farther, but it's still caught out there by Gonzalez for the final out of the fourth. A 1-2-3 inning for Mahaffey. And we're still looking for somebody to put a crooked number up on that scoreboard, folks. It's going to be Gonzalez, Severs, and Covington for the Phillies here in the fourth. Tony Gonzalez struck out his first time up. Wojciech with the pitch, a 2-7. This time Gonzalez lays off a bad pitch out of the zone, and he's got himself a base on balls. 1-13 plus 2, 1-15 minus 2, 1-13. So, Gonzalez got a pretty good chance of stealing second here. He's going to go for it, try to get something going. And the 6 says he's got a stolen base. So Gonzalez at second now, nobody out. And here's Roy Severs. Severs lined out a short his first time up. Might have been a pop-out, but it looks like a line drive, so that's what we'll call it. How about a 4-8? There's a base hit. Gonzalez is going to round third. He's a 1-15 to score. He's in there. In a header to throw is Gonzalez. Severs has himself an RBI single, and finally somebody has put a run on the board. 1-0 Philadelphia over Houston. That brings to bat Wes Covington. Grounded out to first his first time up. Severs is on first. Not a stealing threat. Wojciech deals 5-11. Fly ball to right field. Out in right field, Mejias is a 4. A 16 on the 4. Play along, folks. A single and an error. Batter on second. Runners advance 2. So single Right, E9. And Severs gets over to third as a result of that error. So bad news for Colt 45s. Wojciech's in trouble here. Runners at second and third, and Don Demeter is coming up. He struck out his first time up. He's salivating with these two runners in scoring position. He gets a bonus for reaching 100 RBIs in the season, folks. The pitch from Wojciech is a 5-8 fly ball center field B. That's a sac fly. So Demeter can't get a base hit, but he does cash in the run from third. Gives up and out. He's got an RBI, sac fly, and now it's 2-0 Philadelphia. Covington holds at second, and Bobby Wine got a chance to bring him home with just one out. Wojciech deals a 1-6. Ground ball to short. They look Covington back to second and throw to first for the second out. It's going to bring up Sammy White, who flew out to center his first time up. He'd love to get a base hit and extend this lead a little bit more. Wojciech wants the opposite and deals. A 3-10, a line drive, hits it hard, but right at Amalfitano at second. That's the end of the inning. But Philadelphia picks up 2 and now lead the Colt 45s 2-0. The bottom part of the order, leading off for the Colt 45s, it's going to be Lillis, Wojciech, and then Spangler. So, Bob Lillis reached on an error his first time up. Mahaffey deals. Uh-oh. 2-6, triple 1-4, single 5-20. That's a base hit for Lillis. He's on first, a C stealer. The usual story, they'll hold him. He's a 1-11. And with that happening at Wojciech, a terrible hitting pitcher, excuse me. They're going to try the hit and run. An 8 on the hit and run chart. It's grounded to first. A chopping ground ball in the hole. Ranges over, flips to Mahaffey for the out, but Lillis will move to second. The runner in scoring position for the Colt 45s. And Spangler comes to bat with one out. Al is 1 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch from Mahaffey. I'm back here, Dice. How about a 4-12? And that's a base on balls. So Spangler takes the walk, and it's first and second with one out. Amalfitano due to hits. They're playing for the double play. It's a 6-3. Grounded back to the pitcher. He's going to try to turn it, but does not. It's going to be a 1. Sorry, actually, Lillis will go to third. 1-6 to retire Spangler at second. And Amalfitano reaches on the fielder's choice. So that's going to make it first and third with 2 outs. As I fumble my scoring a little bit, and Roman Mejias with a chance to get Houston in this game. And on the board. Mahaffey deals, he's ready. Mejias waits for the pitch, 5-6. Lofts this one to center field. Gonzalez roams over. And that's the end of the 5th for Houston. They do not score, leave 2 men on, and trail Philadelphia by 2 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th. This one's half over, folks, and Mahaffey will lead off the second half. What a 2-8. That's a strikeout. Wojciech still pitching pretty well. He had a rough inning last inning, but if he can bounce back. This is his POW inning, believe it or not. He's a POW 5. Guy with 26 starts to POW 5. Terrifying. Back in 62, he would have been a laughingstock. But he struck out Taylor twice tonight, and he'd like to make it third. Let's see what happens. 3-5. It's a fly ball to center. Taylor happy to make contact this time. But he's caught in center by Warwick for the second out. So Callison comes up, 1 for 2 on the day. 2 outs, a 6-9, triple 1-3 or a double. That's a double. The second base hit of the day for Callison, and he's got a 2-out double. Puts himself in scoring position for center fielder Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez ready for the pitch from Wojciech. Got a 3-7. Double 1-11, single 12-20. The run's coming home either way. It's a single. They cut it off, get it in quickly to hold Gonzalez, but Allison will come around and score. An RBI single for Tony Gonzalez. And now it's 3-0 Philadelphia. Gonzalez on second. Seaver's coming up. Good power. 2 outs. You know what? They're going to go ahead and try to steal again. It's a 1-13. He does. Steals his second base of the day. And gets himself in scoring position with 2 outs for Seavers. Wodashik gives up one more hitter walk. He's done for the day. What a 5-9. That's a grounder. So Malfitano at second. Over to Larker at first, and that's the end of the inning. So Malfitano lives to see another day. I should say Wodashik lives to see another day. But the Phillies had a run. And as we go to the 6th inning, it's 3-0 Philadelphia. That brings up Larker. 0 for 2 leading off against Mahaffey. 2-9 is a triple 1-5 or a double. That's going to be a 2-bagger for Norm Larker. As the throw comes in, stand-up double to lead off the inning, and here's Carl Warwick. Warwick 0 for 1 with a walk so far. How about a 6-8? Triple 1-3, single 4-20. That's Mahaffey's bad spot. And a single is going to get Houston on the board. An RBI single for Warwick. And it's 3-1. Yeah. Pardon me, folks. Quick little coughing break. So Warwick's on at first with nobody out, and the Houston team has gotten a run to cut the deficit to 2. Aspromonte comes to the plate. Warwick not really a stealing threat. How about a 3-4? Uh-oh. This one's hit high. It's going to be either out of the park or off the wall. Hard to tell. Nope, it's a 1, folks, and I don't think I've ever seen this 20-sided roll of 1 since we started this replay. A 1 is a home run, a 2-run home run, and Bob Aspromonte has tied this game and taken all the air out of the Phillies fans. A 2-run, game-tying home run here with nobody out in the 6th. Mahaffey shakes his head. He just left that one hanging over the center of the plate. Aspromonte made him pay. So we've got a ball game, folks. Tied at 3 here in the top of the 6th. Renu due up. He's flown out to center twice. He got a little farther the last time. He says he's going to get a little farther even this time. Mahaffey stares at him, not amused. The pitch to Renu, 6-7. Fly ball to right field. That is deep, folks. Right at the warning track and caught. Renu feels like he accomplished what he set out to accomplish and goes back to the bench with pride in his smile. Here's Bob Lillis. Reached twice, once on an error, once on a single. There's 1 out. And a 5-11 is a ground ball back to Mahaffey, who's a 5, a terrible fielder. A 9 on a pitcher 5 is going to be a base hit up the middle. Mahaffey didn't even see the ball. And suddenly Lillis is on at first. He's a C-stealer. And Wodashik's due. But yeah, they're going to pull him. They've got to take the momentum here against Mahaffey. They're going to bring in a pinch hitter. Think about that. Being only the 5th in a tie game. But Wodashik realizes that maybe his best chance of getting a win here is letting these boys score and the bullpen hold it down. So Wodashik heads for the bench and the showers. And the pinch hitter for Houston is going to be Don Budden. I believe this is Budden's 3rd use as a pinch hitter on the season, if I remember correctly. So Lillis is on at first. Budden comes to the plate. Terrible hitter. They're going to hit and run. Could have done that with Wodashik, right? I know. A 5 on the hit and run. But that's strat bowling, and I try not to do that. I decided to hit and run after the substitution. That's a grounder to second, retires Budden. Lillis moves to second in scoring position with 2 men out, and Spangler would love to give the Colt 45s a lead with a base hit here. Mahaffey deals. How about a 210? He does. That's a base hit, a single. Lillis is coming around the corner. He's going to try to score. I don't even know what his chance is. 1 to 15 plus 2, 1 to 17. He's in there just ahead of the throw, slides around the tag, and that's an RBI. Go ahead single for Spangler. And suddenly the Colt 45s lead the Phillies 4 to 3. So Mahaffey not at his POW inning yet, but one more run and he'll be done. Spangler, C-stealer, makes him a 1 to 11. They're not going to hold him with 2 down. And Malfitano coming up. They're going to let Malfitano hit. 1 for 3 on the day so far. A 212, he pops it up on the infield. That's going to be the end of the inning. Tony Taylor roams over and takes the final out. But 4 big runs here to take the lead. Houston now leads 4 to 3. The pinch hitter Budden will retire to the bench. And we'll bring a new pitcher in for the Colt 45s. It's going to be Jim Umbricht. He's a pitcher 3 for E-R-I-C-H-T. Umbricht 4-0, a 2.01 ERA in 67 innings, 51 hits, 17 walks, and 55 strikeouts. Just 3 homers allowed. He's going to try to hold this lead for a few innings against Covington, Demeter, and Wine for the Phillies. Covington 1 for 2 on the day. How about a 211? That's a single. Covington with a leadoff single. No steal threat, and Umbricht will now face Don Demeter, who's 0 for 1 with a sac fly his last time up. 3-9. That's a 6. Yep, that's going to be a ground ball to short A. 6 to 4 to 3. Would have been a single, but we're not holding Covington because he's really slow. So it's a double play. So a good double play there to help Umbricht out. And Bobby Wine's due up. It's only the 6th hole, so we've got a lot of ball game ahead of us. And that's a strikeout of Wine to end the 6th. No score for Philadelphia. And they trail as we go to the last third of the game by 1 run. Roman Mejias due up. Mahaffey's still in there. He's going to try to get a little mileage and hope his boys take the lead back, but a single for Mejias. He's going to be a 1 to 13 to go to second, and they're going to try to steal. A stolen base for Mejias. There's been some running today, folks. A couple of not great arms behind the plate, and Lorem Larker comes up with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. Larker with a 5-7 ground ball second. Taylor's a 3. I roll a 1. That's a single, folks. Single 2. So that's an RBI. Base hit. Mejia scores. Larker's got himself an RBI single and extends the Colt 45's lead to 5 to 3. Mahaffey really struggling now. If he gives up one more hit, walk, or run, he's going to be done. Larker and E-Stealer standing on first with a bag of rocks, and Warwick to hit. 1 for 2 on the day, an RBI single his last time up. 4-7. He's down on strikes. So Mahaffey bears down and gets Warwick swinging for the first out of the inning. That brings up Aspromonte. 3-3. That's a line drive right at the shortstop. Wine for the second out. And Merritt Renu, he's hit the ball into the outfield 3 times. Larker at first. The pitch. How about a 3-6? That's on the ground this time. Toward first. Back to Mahaffey for the out to end the 7th. But Houston picks up a 5th run. And we may see some pinch hitters for Philadelphia here. Mahaffey's due to bat 2nd in the inning. You can bet that's not happening, trailing in the 7th. But we also want to see, for Sammy White, who's going to be a sub, it's going to be Clay Dalrymple, the full-time catcher, substituting for White. And then we're going to put Frank Torrey, actually. Frank just volunteered. He was next in line, and he's got a 404 on-base percentage. So Torrey's going to be on deck, which means Mahaffey's day will be done. If you disagree with that move, you can talk to the manager about it. He's actually listening. I think it's the right move. Like I said, Mahaffey's done. Let's mark him out. He went 7. Oops, actually, that's A and that's B. So A is going to be Dalrymple. Dalrymple. Now he will stand and play catcher. 3. I think his arm's better too. It's a -1. That might slow down stolen bases for the rest of the game. And then B is the pinch hitter Torrey. So as I said, Mahaffey done for the Phillies. Goes to the back of the stack. He's actually a 1 every 4-day pitcher. He'll slip ahead of Dennis Bennett in the lineup. He does have 39 starts on the season. We'll get him 40 and be okay with it. If he doesn't get hurt at any point. Give me a second. I'm just organizing cards here. I'm confused. I don't know what the hell happened to... 1, 2, 3, 4. I tried to put the Philadelphia bullpen into the showers. I don't want to do that. We're probably going to need them. Alright, so we're set to go. A couple of changes made. Forgive my clumsiness. You all know how it is. And Dalrymple leading off against Umbricht. Umbricht's 2nd inning of work. He can go 4. 3-11. That's a base hit. Dalrymple with a leadoff base hit, an E-stealer. He's not going anywhere, but Frank Torrey comes to the plate for his first at-bat. Pinch hitting for Mahaffey. Umbricht with the pitch. How about a 6-4? That's a pop-out. 3rd base. That'll be the first out of the inning. Torrey retired. Tony Taylor coming up. He's 0 for 3 on the day. How about a 3-7? A fly ball to left field for the 2nd out. Dalrymple holds at first, and Johnny Callison, 2 hits on the day. 2 for 3 with a run scored and a double, comes to the plate. Umbricht with the pitch, a 3-11. Ground ball back to Umbricht. And over to Larker at first. That will end the 7th. So Callison sits down. And Torrey's going to come out of the game. If I could pick him up. As there'll be a new pitcher for Philadelphia. The man who's going to try to keep it close. Jack Baldschun. Baldschun is a pitcher too. POW 3. So Baldschun will come in. He'll face the bottom of the order. Lillis, Umbricht, and Spangler due up. Umbricht may stay in. He's a very good pitcher, and he would get a save for these 4 innings of work if he can get through the game without giving up the lead. So here's Bob Lillis. 2 for 3 on the day. A 4-11 is a ground ball back to Baldschun. He's a pitcher too. 16. He picks it and throws over to first for the out. Umbricht's due to hit, and we're going to have to grab a hitting card for him because we're keeping him in. He's doing too good work on the mound. How about a 5-4? Catcher's card X. It's not white anymore, sorry. It's Dalrymple. He's a 3. We roll a 3. And that's a pop out to the catcher for the second out. So Umbrick made contact. He's happy with himself. And Spangler comes up to bat 2 for 3 with a walk and an RBI today. How about a 3-7? Grounder to third. Demeter picks it up. Slings it to Severs at first, and that's a 1-2-3 8th inning. Bulchin does his job. Keeps his team close. Now Umbricht will try to do his and keep the center of the Phillies order from scoring. Tony Gonzalez, Severs, and Covington do up. Gonzalez 1 for 2 with a run and a walk on the day. He's stolen a couple of bases. Umbricht will just try to keep him off the base paths and keep it simpler. Well, there's a grounder down to first. Larker flips it to Umbricht. That's the first out. Here's Severs, 1 for 3 with an RBI single, way back in the third. Umbricht with the pitch, a 1-10. That's a grounder down to third. Aspromonte over to Larker. That's 2 quick outs here in the 8th for the Phillies. And Wes Covington comes to bat. He's got 2 base hits on the day. The pitch, a 3-7. Pops this one up on the infield. Larker roams over and takes it. A 1-2-3 inning here for Umbricht against the Phillies in the 8th. And Houston hanging on to a slim 5-3 lead as we go to the 9th. Bulchin in his second inning of work will face Amalfitano, Mejias, and Larker. Here's Joey Amalfitano, 1 for 4. Doubled way back in the first. What a 4-11. Grounder back to a Bulchin, who's a 2. 10 is an error. That's an E1 to start things off. Amalfitano finds himself on first. Don't rush him. He's a C-stealer. They will not hold him. They're going to play for 2. He's a 1-10 if he wants to go. And Roman Mejias will bat. 1 for 4. Run scored and a stolen base on the day is Mejias. How about a 1-6? That's a base hit. Amalfitano, 1-15 to go to third. They're sending him. A 14. He just gets in there ahead of the throw. Sometimes I would like outfielder arms, but I don't even know where that was hit, you know. Then I have to start looking. Was Mejias a lefty or a righty? He's a righty, so it's probably the left, but it could be the center. I have to roll another die. It's a whole thing. So that's why I don't do the outfielder arms, guys, if you were wondering. So it's first and third now. Bulchin in some trouble thanks to the error in the single. And Norm Larker comes to the plate. They're going to peel the infield in, believe it or not, to try to cut off any extra runs. That is a 1-10. He pops him up on the infield. And that saves them the worry about the infield being in, as Severs catches it for the first out. Call Warwick comes to the plate, a 5-6. Well, that's a base on balls. That's not good. The bases are now loaded for Houston against Bulchin, and Bob Aspromonte comes to the plate. He's already homered once today. He'd love to add a grand slam to his collection. Bulchin takes a deep breath. Stares in at the sign and pitches to Aspromonte. It is a 4-3. Hard ground ball to short. Wine is a 3. We roll a 9. That's going to be a 6-4 to 3. Double play. So Houston cannot score in the 9th. And coming up, Umbricht will have to deal with none Demeter but Bobby Wine and Clay Dalrymple. Here's Don Demeter. Umbricht allowed just 1 base hit. No, 2 base hits through 3 innings so far. He pitches. It's a 5-11 grounder back to Umbricht. He's a 3-17. And he boots it. Flopping around out there, it bounces toward third. They pick it up, but not in time. Demeter reaches. That brings up Bobby Wine. Not a great hitter is Wine. Let's see who Philadelphia's got on the bench. Not much, to be honest with you. Not much. They're going to go ahead with a higher on-base percentage and go with Ruben Amaro. Oh, wait, there's somebody else hiding back here. Oh, it's Ted Savage. Ted Savage was hiding on the bench. Didn't know what was going on. He's had a few too many drinks today, but he's still a better hitter than either of the other options. So he'll come in and pinch hit for wine. That's not where it's going to be. Savage, a 266 hitter, 7 homers, 39 RBIs, and 335 at bats. Most importantly, he's got a 345 on base percentage, and that's what they need to keep this game going right now. Although a 2-run homer would suffice as well. So Umbrick takes a deep breath, looks over at Demeter at first, and hopes he gets a ground ball. The pitch to Savage, a 2-2. Ground ball shortstop, A+++ injury. So that is, the plus will not matter because of D Steeler, but that is going to be a 6 to 4 to 3 double play. But Savage may have pulled something. A 7 on the super advanced injury chart indicates he's going to miss one game. But Ted Savage, it's the bricks, baby. He's going to take a day off to nurse that strained hamstring. And with 2 men out and nobody on, it's going to be Dalrymple batting 8th. Umbrick 1 out away from closing this one out. He's ready. Here's the pitch. 1-6. Well, he loses Dalrymple. Once again, he's in a similar situation. Dalrymple walks. They're going to have to find a pinch hitter for Baldwin. Sorry, that's an E. And now, folks, with limiting options, they're going to be looking for somebody who can jack this ball out of the yard. I don't know if they have anybody, but they're going to be looking. Tomorrow, no homers, 19 RBIs. If not, Amaro might be the guy. Well, we got Klaus, 4 homers and 240 at-bats. And those are your options. You go Amaro to keep the game going? I think you have to. So Amaro is going to bat with his 330 on base percentage. And the best thing he could probably do is draw a walk. A base hit would be fine too. Dalrymple at first. Amaro the tying run at the plate, unbricked, ready to pitch. 2 outs. It's a 6-6. Single 1 to 12 or a line drive to second for the out. It's all up to Joey Amalfitano right now, folks, and here's the die roll. That's a single. Off from Amalfitano's glove, it's going to be an infield hit, and the game will continue. Amaro reaches, and it's now first and second. Amaro is the tying run. Tony Taylor comes to the plate as the potential winning run. Umbricked. Looking tired, but he's going to try to get through this one. He deals to Taylor with men at first and second. A 3-3. That's a pop-up on the infield. The shortstop Lillis roams over and makes that catch, and that's the final out. An exciting ball game here in Philadelphia, but the Phillies fans go home unhappy as they fall to the Houston Colt 45s, the expansion. Houston Colt 45s, 5-3. Take a moment to put these teams back together, and then we can score it. That was a fun one, guys. I like that one. The Phillies kept threatening there at the end, but just couldn't get it done. Let's get these Houston guys over here. They only used Budden. Here's the pen. They didn't use anybody except for Umbricht. So Tiefenauer comes back into play, and so does Giusti from the last game. Umbricht will be tired. He goes on top of the bench. Here's your starting lineup. And here are your starters. The next time Houston takes the mound, it'll be Dean Stone. Here's your starting lineup. Your relievers and your starters. Waldschon, the only used reliever. Amaro, Wine goes back in the starting lineup. Torrey does not. White does. Or does he? Yeah, I think he's in for an injured guy. Oh, no, he's not. Yeah. So it's catcher first. Third short. And, of course, where is he? I couldn't find him. We're missing somebody, guys. Where is he? Who just came up to bat? Savage. Where's... Oh, Ted Savage is hurt. That's why. These guys will go over here. Anybody come in for Savage? We'll bring Jackie Davis up for a game. I don't make anybody go down for a special amount of time. I always make sure the teams have 25 if they can. And if you're wondering if somebody gets injured and there's nobody to play that position, that injury is delayed until somebody returns from the injured list. So, in any case, we've got Taylor, Callison, Gonzalez, Severs, Covington, Demeter, Dalrymple, and Wine. Those are your Phillies starters, right? Yes. So there's your bench, there's your bullpen. That's not where those go. There's your starting lineup, and there are your starting pitchers. And Philly is ready to go to bed. What time we got, folks? It's 10 o'clock. Been streaming for an hour and 40. So we got a 2 for 4 day for Spangler, an RBI, and a base on balls. Got a 1 for 5 day for Amalfitano, a double, and reached on an error, but we don't count those. Got a 2 for 5 day for Mejias, a run, and a stolen base. 2 for 5 day for Larker, a run, a double, an RBI, and a strikeout. Got a 1 for 3 day for Warwick, a run, an RBI, 2 walks, and a strikeout. 1 for 5 for Aspromonte, a run, home run, 2 RBIs, and a grounded into a double play. 0 for 4 for Merritt Renu. 2 for 4 for Lillis with a run scored, and 0 for 2 for Watershik with a strikeout. Umbricht did bat. He went 0 for 1. He pitched 4 innings. And Budden batted here. He grounded out, so he's 0 for 1. Watershik is our starting pitcher. He went 5 innings. And he's actually going to get the win, believe it or not, because they scored he pitched 5. They scored the go-ahead runs in the 6th, so Watershik is going to get the win. And Umbricht the save. 5 innings pitched. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. 3 runs, all earned. No home runs. One walk. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts. For Umbricht, he gave up 1, 2, 3 hits in 4 innings. No runs, no earned runs, no home runs. He walked 1. And struck out 1. So that means 6 plus 3 is 9. So Philadelphia had 9 hits on the day. 0 for 5 for Taylor leading off. 2 strikeouts. 2 for 4, a run, a double, and a stolen base for Callison. 1 for 3 with a run, a walk, actually an RBI. Ugh. A run, an RBI, a walk, a strikeout, and 2 stolen bases. A busy day for Gonzalez. 1 for 4 with a run and an RBI for Severs. 2 for 4 for Covington. Demeter goes 0 for 3. An RBI, a strikeout, a sac fly, and a ground into a double play. 0 for 3 for Wine with a strikeout. 0 for 1 for Savage, grounded into a double play. 0 for 2 for White. That's going to be Dalrymple. He goes 1 for 1. A walk. Mahaffey goes 1 for 2. A strikeout. Corey goes 0 for 1. Walchin's a relief pitcher. Doesn't bat. And Amaro goes 1 for 1. So where can we put him? Our starting pitcher, Mahaffey. How many does he go? 7. He'll take the loss because he gave up all the runs. Give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits. 5 runs. They're all earned, I was just making sure. 1 home run. 1, 2, 2 walks. 1. Just 2 strikeouts. A relief pitcher. Walchin went 2 innings pitched. Give up a 1 hit, a walk, and that is all. So 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs, no home runs, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. So that's 11 hits for Houston. Let's see if there's any errors. There's an E9. And an E1. The E1 was going to be on the relief pitcher. So 2 errors for Philadelphia on Callison and Walchin. And then Houston, there was also at least 1. There's an E9 and an E1. That's pretty weird. So Mejias. And who's the E1 on? Sorry. That was in the 8th, so that's going to be on Umbricht. Well, that's 2 games, folks. A little slower than I usually play them if I am not doing the play-by-play. We're going to go ahead and waive the 3rd game for tonight, I think. Unless I glance at these viewers and there's 15 people watching. Nope. So, thank you guys for hanging out. I will record the scores on those, and then I think I'll record the Cincinnati-San Francisco game for the recorded game tomorrow. That'll wrap up the games of 4/13/1962, and we'll be moving on to the first weekend of the 62 season, where we're going to try to continue recording as many interesting games as possible. Maybe roll a few on the side and get those Yankees and Mets games up for you. But for tonight, my name is Joe. This has been Strat Baseball History. Reminding you that there is never a bad day for a baseball game, so whatever you do tomorrow, make sure you make some time for whatever ails you. That sounds terrible. Whatever soothes your ailments. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and see you soon.